Political leaders, mayors, delegates, senators, they change like the weather. New election comes, we got a new mayor. New election comes, we got a new governor. But the law enforcement culture remains. It is ingrained. We've built this culture over the past 5 decades. You're not going to get rid of this culture in 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 1 term of 4 years. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to get serious about changing some policies to begin changing law enforcement culture. And I'm glad that you asked that question. And police officers need to know, when the father of modern-day policing, Robert Peel, from England, started this profession, this uniform presence, law enforcement officers in community, its design was to protect people from people. Okay, having that uniform on, being able to recognize, okay, that's the person that's going to protect me from other people. It's not what we're about anymore. And that initial design has changed so much. So think about Robert Peel and think about getting back to the purpose of policing, the foundation of policing. Community-based people wearing uniforms, interacting with community members and neighbors in solving crimes, protecting crime, being a deterrent of crimes, people hurting and preying upon other people, not being someone's mother or father telling them what to do, what not to do, what to drink, what not to drink, what to smoke, what not to smoke.
There we go. Lynn Platshorn's here. I think she's got something for you, Neill. And one last question before we go. You mentioned the police culture that needs to be changed. Is there a part of this culture that says, from the beat officer's perspective, look, we know the potheads aren't that big a problem, but it's this great tool. It allows us, we think this is a bad guy, but we don't really have anything on him right now. But if we shake him down, we find a baggie of weed, now we've got him in our clutches. Is that part of it, and how do we address that?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. That became quite evident during some testimony in Maryland during this past session when we had some legislation, marijuana decriminalization and tax and regulate, going before the House and the Senate. And law enforcement came in and testified to that very fact. If we lose the ability to search resulting from smelling marijuana, then we're going to lose this. We're going to lose discovering this crime, or, the bodies in the trunk, or, cocaine in the trunk. So we got to be able to search. And marijuana is that #1 reason. It is, it's clear. Okay, whether burning or not, you can smell it.
It's
when you walk up to the door. Yeah, okay. So you can smell it. Law enforcement realizes that. They realize that if they lose the ability to search your person, your vehicle, or your home, because we no longer have marijuana in the picture, things change for them. But see, then that supports the argument that we have. At LEAP, we've got to end all of this. We've got to move from a criminal justice-centered program for managing drugs to one that is health-centered. The one that really gives the appropriate attention to the person who is addicted. And just so people continue to understand that the people who have problematic drug use, those numbers are very, very low. Unfortunately, media reports on those people and the problems associated with those people so much and so frequently that we are under the belief that those numbers are extremely high. But at the end of the day, here's the question. The drug business, legal or illegal, underground, violent marketplace, has existed since probably the beginning of time. There is somebody out there selling something to somebody else to change their state of mental being. The drug business exists today. Unfortunately, it's being managed by the cartels, neighborhood crews, and organized crime. And with that comes violence and kidnappings and murders and so on, drive-by shootings. The question is, if this business is going to exist into the future, which we know it is, it's not going to go anywhere, who do we want to manage that business? Do we want responsible citizens managing that business who value a license that they hang on a wall and they don't hire kids into the business, they don't sell to kids, they don't involve guns and violence in their business? Or do we want to continue with the status quo of criminals, organized crime, the cartel, neighborhood crews managing the business from a very, very violent place? I don't know about you, Russ. Well, I know where you are. But for those folks listening, I don't know about them, but me, I'd rather have responsible citizens managing this business that will be here forever.
Yeah, I tell people I'm a lot less afraid of a pot shop than a Mexican cartel.
You better believe it, buddy.
Major
So
Neill
much.
Franklin from Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, one of the good
Russ.
guys. Thank you so much. Check
Thank
him
you,
out.
man.
Copssaylegalizedrugs.com or leap.cc. Have a good
Thanks, man.
day.
Have a good one.